Hey guys, welcome back. I'm here for the first time with some more Modern. Um, I'm playing Mono Green Stompy, and I'm going to be playing four games, or four matches rather. So I don't feel the need to go into too much deck because you'll see how the deck works as it gets played out. So with that, let's jump into those games I just spoke of. All right, so this is round one. Okay, so we have a hand of a lot of two drops and a leatherback Baloth, and this is pretty keepable. We have Treetop Village to lead off with, so yeah, like we'll be able to cast a two drop, which is fine. It does look like we're gonna get Inquisitioned, so we don't know if this is gonna be like a Jund deck or if it's 8-rack or something like that. Pretty sure he takes an Avatar here. Alternatively, I guess he could like take the Stone Tusk, or wow, I'm having a Colonian Tusker. What's Stone Tusk for? That's a different card. Anyway, he could have taken the boar or the Tusker there. No, I have it in my head that it's a boar, but anyway, okay, Thoughtseize. The reason I say that is because they run the tribal instant that does 2 instead of 3. So basically, the double pick on the avatars shows that he's not looking to play that card soon, which is probably means that our Tusker's gonna, a Tusker's gonna die to a lightning bolt. I don't know. I guess it's just a beast. It's certainly not a boar, but for some reason that's in my mind. A dread boar. Wow. I mean, it's not unreasonable. Like I can see why you'd make that play. Yeah. We just run out our avatar. So our deck is a little bit different from a lot of them, in that it's running more elders and less lands. It's on like 20 lands as opposed to 21. All right, terminate. Cool beans. I have a feeling we're not going to win this game one. Jund is pretty tough, mostly because of the hand disruption and the removal. If they only had the removal, we'd be able to like deal some damage, or like maybe stick a creature to evade some removal. But with the hand disruption as well, our matchup is a little tougher. A little tougher. Skews should pretty much just win this game. I don't. There's not a lot we can do. Like we need to top deck a we would need to top deck a Dismember like now in order to stop that. I think. I mean, I guess he only has 2 green sources, right? So that's something. Bloodbraid. All right. Bloodbraid is like, obviously a lot of people have already spoken about this, but Bloodbraid is one of the most powerful things that could have happened for Jund. And yeah, to be honest, like I'm pretty happy with it being unbanned. I think that like seeing classic Jund shells again is like kind of, for me it's been fun because that's like reminiscent of when I was playing Modern most frequently. Obviously, it's been a while since I played Modern on stream, but or not on stream, but recording rather. But yeah, I think it's a overall positive thing for the format. Like Jund being good again pushes Storm a little bit out of the meta, and you guys know that I love Storm, but I think that Wizards does not, and many Modern players probably find it pretty frustrating as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but the deck was already being pushed out a little bit anyway. People were adapting and playing more aggressive strategies that kind of pushed it out a little bit, but sorry, thinking a little bit here. Yeah, we can play this Avatar. Gives us another dude, and we can still leave up the vines for our Baloth. The issue here is that like we have very little that's gonna be able to like get through the scavenging ooze, and yeah, this bolt to kill the Stranglergeist hurts a lot. We could give it hexproof, but it's just not worth it. We probably concede in the next couple turns here, be my guess. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty happy that Jund is a thing again. Personally, I've always liked playing against Jund. I find it to be challenging, but it feels kind of like pure a little bit, I guess, because it's still a creature-based deck. Like it's a relatively fair deck. It's just a powerful fair deck. And this deck feels very much like another user, one of the team turn 3 players, mentioned that playing this deck feels like a draft deck, and it totally does. Alright, well, we throw this guy out here. And I guess we animate. I mean, like, we're just not going to be able to get through enough damage, unfortunately, because... So, the major issue is that he can gain 2 life for each attack. I can only deal 6 here. He's going to block the big one, so he only really takes 4. And then my creature count will keep dwindling, so there's no point in playing that one out. Alright, so we're going to take out one of these testers. We're going to put in the Baloths and Scavenging Ooze. We'll probably put in Dismember. That's something that like I might not keep in, but Aspect of Hydra is a little bit overrated here. I like the Rankers because like they help us get through stuff. But I think that the hexproof ones are a little bit better. I think 2 Baloths is great. The relics could also come in. They could also come in, but I don't know that we're really looking to grind against Jund so much. Like, Bow is decent because it gives our stuff Death Touch. And can also, like, it can gain us life, it can do a lot of things. So it's a versatile grind card, whereas the relics pretty much only shut off Kolaghan's Command and Tarmogoyf. So, I mean, maybe the relics are worth it, but I think that the Bow of Nilia would be more impactful if it were to resolve. Just because it has so many different utility things, so many different functions, all of which are relevant. So, well, we drew a second Skews. It's actually not a great draw. It's good because like it gives us some redundancy. So like we won't, if we lose one, we can play another. But it's kind of bad because if we're trying to grow them, they can't simultaneously grow. So you gotta like choose which ones you're doing. And not that that's horrible. It's just sometimes difficult to manage. Now the benefit of having another one is like the sweeper situation or removal situation. That's where it's good. And playing against Jund, we're pretty sure to see some sort of removal. So, all right, kill my experiment one. That's fine. I will eat it and grow my skews. I think we're just gonna eat it, and we're gonna hold up the vines. I think because since this is our only threat on the board, like we want to protect it. So, and if we're forcing him to use, mana to try to kill something, and then we can vines it. Okay, kitchen pieces. All right, that's good. So we're going to let that resolve, let him gain the 2, and then this turn is where we'll kill it. And we'll eat it. Unfortunately, that means that we have to leave our skews unprotected. But now it's out of bolt range, so the hope is that like he just doesn't have a bolt, or I mean he doesn't have like a push or something. So I'm getting for another 4. I mean we have a 3-turn clock, and that's without any of our buffs and stuff that are in hand. I mean, it's not like he doesn't run threats though, right? Like a Lily could come down, make us sack this Skoos. Like any number of things. Fatal Push. Okay, here's a Bloodbraid, so just whiff, like hit. Okay, Collective Brutality is actually like one of the worst. So it's going to be like a Duress and Drain, probably. Like, he can't kill the Skoos, so that doesn't make any sense, right? So Duress and Drain makes the most sense if he's choosing 2 modes. If he's not choosing 2 modes, probably just Duress. Yep, Duress and Drain. Alright. So, probably Vines. I mean, Blossoming Defenses, I mean, they're pretty similar, so it just depends on if he thinks that the larger buff is more relevant. I mean, he knows I have 2 effects to do the same thing, so, okay, Blossoming Defense, sure. It is more efficient, like, there's a reason that he did that, but, yeah. It's kind of like, it's pretty open there, that choice. So we'll play out our Rancor and get in for 6, or at least try to get in for 6. Alright, and then we'll just hold up our Vines. Force them to have double removal. I mean, it certainly is not easy to do that. And, well, that is hard. Okay, so we're going to respond by casting this Vines here to force him to have the removal now. And then he'll get to choose something. My guess is it's probably Experiment 1, to be honest. It's Experiment 1 or Skoos. Like, he knows that I'm stuck on mana. Yeah, Skoos. That one could have gone either way. I think the reason he chose Skoos is so that, like, he can kill this current Skoos, and then after that happens, then I don't have a way of trimming his graveyard repeatedly, which is relevant. So he's going to take 4. And then we're going to cast this Baloth. It's like holding a forest in hand there. We like can feign having drawn a bunch of different things. We played the forest. That reveals that, like, hey, this is what I drew this turn, because he already knows our hand. That's pretty, like, basic type stuff, to be honest. But it's good for maybe people who are less familiar with competitive play and information being revealed. So, yeah, he concedes. So we win there. I mean, like, he could Bloodbraid and then maybe wheel into something that's relevant. I kind of liked the Rancor there, but I don't think that we need anything else. I mean, like, the relics are the only thing that I might add. And maybe 1 relic is better than Bow, but I don't know. I don't think so. This is pretty good. Double Geist. Like, Geist is really, really good against Jund. So double Geist and then an Avatar. So, you know, if they do get removed, and drawing a Baloth. So we have, like, a lot of stuff that's really good against Jund. Yeah, so I'm feeling comfortable with this hand. Alright, a Skoos. That's fine. Let's see. Let's just play one of these guys. We could have, like, dismembered, but there's no reason. There's no reason to. Just try to get the damage in, and then, like, hope that he doesn't have removal. Plus, like, okay. So the thing is, if he uses removal and then eats the Geist, he's used his whole turn to kill the Geist. So that's fine by me. But he was able to, like, 1 for basically one for one the Geist, which does kind of stink because the major benefit of the Geist itself is that it allows me to get around the ability of Jund to one for one, because that's what makes Jund so strong, is that it can one for one people incredibly well. There's Dungrove Elder. Dungrove Elder is really good against Jund. I'm thinking I'm actually just going to play it out here. It's a 2/2. Fetches a Blood Crypt. Alright, cool. So, hopefully, well, no, Kolaghan's Command wouldn't kill it. Whoa, what? Kozilek's Return. That was not expected. And, yeah, it being a 2/2 there made a big difference. That kind of sucks, to be honest. That's okay. I mean, we can, like, Geist and then Dismember here, which seems good. $14, and then, let's see, what is he going to cast here? That comes in tap, the Blackblade Cliff comes in tap. Oh my gosh, it's the Dream. So he can't kill, like, so this is kind of a weird spot, right? Like, he can't force me to sack the Geist, because then the Geist just comes back and kills the Lily. So he's going to force me to discard, and I'm going to discard this Baloth. My opponent said, good. Yup, that sounds about right. I think we kill the Lily and then get in for 4 with the 2 Geists. I don't know if we play the Avatar. We could hold up Vines. I don't know if it's useful to do that, though. So, like, holding up Vines, we have 2 things that are already really resilient to removal. And then we have... but it's probably fine, because, like, we want to keep the Baloth alive. The Baloth gives us, like, next turn lethal. So, yeah, if we can manage to keep that alive, we're in a good position. Oh boy. Not what I was expecting. Okay. I think we still just Smork, I think. Yeah, and if he chooses to trade with one of our Geists, we get another one. Wow. Okay, so now we have just lethal without pumping anything, which is excellent. And then if he blocks one, then we just cast our Avatar, the Resolute. Or do we need to? I don't know if we need to. It's probably better than holding up, like, the... Well, I guess he could draw Damnation. Yeah, he could draw Damnation, so we don't want to play anything. Because we have super lethal on board, so I would just say come at me. Alright, K command. Getting back. Probably getting back, yeah. Return news. Yep. Sure. It does nothing. So, yeah, it's fine. We will just animate our Treat Up Village for the extra Smork. Boom. Alright. So we beat Jund. On to the next one. Alright. We are back with calling it round 2, even though there aren't actual rounds on Triss. And we're still on Mono G Stompy. This hand is close to keepable. We're on the draw, so yeah, it seems fine. Because, like, if we don't draw a land, we can just rancor our 2/1. Uh-oh. Okay. Came and tapped, so we're okay. Yeah, I think that... Let's see. I don't know what Stomping Ground is. It could be anything. I'm not going to cause conjecture. It's definitely not Burn, though. If it were Burn, they would have played something. It could be some sort of Scapeshift deck. It could be Jund. What other decks want to play turn 1 Stomping Ground tap? I mean, I guess... No, there's no reason that a Burn deck would keep a hand that couldn't cast something turn 1. So that's unreasonable. It could be maybe some sort of like Nicodle list, like a Tribal Flames deck. It is not Grizzly Salvage. Okay. Oh, it's that Bridgevine deck that's been floating around. Okay. So the good news is the Driven to Despair and Faithless Looting get exiled because Dryad Militant is a boss. The bad news is Bridge from Blow is in the yard and off the first thing. So, guess we hope we draw like a Scoos or something. Alternatively, we can just slam out this 3/3 and get in for 2. Colonian Tusker. The sweetest uncommon ever. That's super not true. There are a lot of really good uncommons. But for 2 mana, I really like Colonian Tusker. It's been pretty good. It does come out quite frequently though, because the 3rd Scoos is just so good. Alright, so he's going to take Hangerback Walker and put the rest in the graveyard / exile, depending on their spell type. Is he going to cast that Hangerback Walker? Nope. He's trying to like get as many as he can to play, which is like 100% reasonable. I'm just going to rancor, I think, each of my guys. Do I want to do both right now, or do I just want to hold up the Blossoming Defense? I'll hold up the Blossoming Defense, it's fine. This is 7, and we have enough to like do next turn lethal if he chooses not to play. Play his Hangerbacks to get dudes out. So my favorite part about playing Modern right now is the fact that I get to sideboard. It's been basically a year of playing just competitive EDH, and the biggest downside of that is just not getting to play sideboards. Like, sideboards are just incredibly fun. Yeah, just having stuff to, mess with people's decks is insane. So, yeah, those are cards that do things. If we draw a land, we can dismember in response to blocks. Both would have trample, and then still not technically lethal. It leaves them like 1 short, but I think that we have a pretty good shot at winning then. Alternatively, we can just play our Baloth. But then we get a chance to grow the Hangerbacks. He's not dead this turn. That's definitely not the case. Yeah, we can get rid of this guy, and then we can give Rancor to one of our guys. Oh yeah, he is dead. Yeah, he's actually just dead on board. Because we have 7, and then the extra 2, so we have 9. So yeah, we had enough. Oh, pardon me again. We had enough to do at that time. The relics come in here. Scoos comes in here. I think that's it. And, we could maybe make an argument for Gutshot. or like a creeping corrosion / deglamour type thing. Those would not be bad instead of the dismembers. Like the only thing that gets around that is like the endless ones and the tokens, right? I don't think you need 3 aspect hydras. I think that's just a little bit too much. We're still looking to be aggressive here, but we also we just don't need the buffs for this matchup. That's basically what I'll say. We could have potentially kept our first hand and been okay. We'll keep the relic on top. Okay, there's the salvage. There's always a bridge in the top 5. It's amazing. Like, if you would just whiff on one of those, we'd be in a much better place. I would just cast the hanger back now. Like, he knows that I have the relic, so I can't force him to exile specifically that card. Well, sure. Hanger back is A-okay with me. I'm gonna just pitch this guy and draw a card. We gotta get some. We have to get some cards if we expect to win this game, right? Let's cast our Dryad Militant, make it a little bit harder for him to find that damage. Or find his combo pieces, which would result in damage. Basically just shuts off like Faithless Looting type effects and the effects that the blank to blank effects. Alright, so you take probably Ballista or Hangerback. I mean, you could potentially take a land if he needs one. I would probably think that Hangerback is better, because making more dudes is pretty good against me. Like, being able to block and then make guys is very annoying when I don't have trample. Takes a land. Alright. A shock. That's unexpected. This is an endless one. Nope. Potentially some removal, though. Very yawny. Yep, I'm just gonna cast a Scoos. Oh, okay, just wanted to buff the hanger back. That's fine. It's a reasonable play, to be honest. Alright, so he's got 2 dudes in the graveyard for me to eat with the Scoos, which is going to help me gain life and potentially combat this Hangerback Walker's growth. There's another one. Could be a Ballista, too. Hangerback Duder. Alright. Let's go. We could just cast this Dungrove Elder. That's a legitimate option. I think that's better just to attack. See if he's going to block, take the bait, etc. Nope. So then I think we eat the ballista and the hanger back. It's basically between like growing this Scoos and playing Dungrove Elder here. I think that growing the Scoos is fine because we probably want to leave up mana anyway. Just so we can eat like important things out of the graveyard. Neonate is fine. You are allowed to have one of those. Another land is actually welcome as well. The question is, what do we do with it? I think we just attack. Let's see what he blocks with. Yep. Just give it +2/+2. We're not using our aspects here to like overpower win the game. We're just using them to kind of provide us some decent trades, basically. So yeah, we play our second militant out here, which is also reasonably good. Like, even if they die, they're good, is basically my thinking on them, because they feed my Scoos then. But yeah, I'm just trying to hold up the ability to eat stuff or the ability to protect the Scavenging Ooze here, which I think is fine. It's not exciting, but that's pretty good. It's Edric on a sorcery. Alright. 4 cards. It's a lot of cards. Yeah, I don't have anything with reach. No avatars yet. So. I guess this gives him the opportunity to like just discard something. So like if he has the bridge in hand, he can just discard it. I mean, then I just eat it, right? But yeah. There it is. So yeah, I'm gonna eat the bridge immediately. And then I guess we can just eat the hanger back. Like on 1 mana, he could have push. That's basically the only card that's gonna kill the Scoos. I guess Murder's Cut, but he doesn't have enough delve for that. So double Rancor puts it at 9. It's probably wiser to like put 1 on the Scoos and 1 on the militants, so he's more likely to block a militant. And then we can also continue to buff the Scoos. I feel like that seems fine. Otherwise, he's taking like. Otherwise, he'd be at 1, which doesn't seem great, especially when I have a Vines in hand. If he blocks, we get. Sure. Cool. Just leaves him at 1. Looks like he's just going to scoop to that. That's fine. He could have potentially won there, but it seemed pretty unlikely, so the scoop seems warranted. The graveyard hate is real, he says. Indeed, my friend, indeed. All right, on to the next one. Yeah, that hand we can't keep. This is the 3rd round. Oh, it's that serum powder deck. That looks pretty sweet. It has a lot of resilience with the Eternal Scourges. This hand is okay. I don't know if we want that Treetop Village, but it's probably fine. Like, we don't have a 1-mana spell, so we can play it on turn 1, play like one of our bigger guys on turn 2, and then hopefully get into something a little bit better turn 3. Scoos is kind of weak in this matchup because the Eternal Scourges will just keep coming back. Granted, that makes it, like, allows it to keep growing, but he has to attack with the Eternal Scourges for that to happen, so... Yeah, Tusker's the right 2-drop here. I think Stonewall's the 2-1 the best. He has a Scourge from the graveyard that he can cast, which is somewhat problematic, but... Oh god. 6 mana? Oh no! That's so many of them. I guess do I block? I should block the Mimic to prevent it from being huge, I think. And then I just play my Scavenging Ooze, eat the Mimic, and then... Or Scavenging Ooze and Dryad Militant, I think. It's maybe even better. It's like I'm not going to block with the Scoos this turn anyway. So I may as well put 2 things on the board and then go from there. Yeah. Just block. And we're already at 8, so... well, that's probably game. Guess we do have a reach thing to block the 1/1. We have 2 3/2s that can come in here, but it's not looking good. Basically, it's not looking good. I think we just block 2 of these. If he's got that land that exiles all things from graveyards, though, we pretty much just lose, I think. There it is. So, we just scoop to that. I feel like we just scoop to that. They even came down that turn. It's ridiculous. Okay. So what do we bring in? I think Bow of Nilia sounds nice because then, like, attacking, we can trade smaller guys into bigger things. Scoos is okay. Yeah, I'm not in love with it. Dismember's pretty good. Gutshot's actually not terrible if we need to, like, get through the Eternal Scourges. I'm, again, not in love with it. Like, it's 2 life to get in some damage, which is... When you're playing against an equally aggressive deck, it's not optimal. This hand is, yeah, not very good. This hand is a little bit better. We have the experiment 1, so we'll keep it. If we find land, we're in business. That's pretty good. So our opening 2 turns are okay. If we find another land to cast the Bailoff with, we're doing pretty well. So the hope is to just find a 3rd land. Bailoff should be able to win us the game. It's a pretty fast clock. Ratchet Bomb. Alright. Pretty decent. We didn't get there, but this will buff our experiment 1 and allow us to regenerate it, which is pretty relevant. And it being a 2 cost creature, we were able to avoid the Ratchet Bomb on 1. So, a crack of the Ratchet Bomb here hurts us a little bit, but we still have 7 power on board, so it doesn't do that much. And then Aspect of Hydra could just win us the game if he chooses not to blow anything up. He's going to choose to blow stuff up, though. Like, that's just a given. I guess if he chooses, let's see, 1 plus 4. No, it'd be removed from combat, right? The experiment 1, if it dies, would be removed from combat if we try to regenerate it. So yeah, I think we just attack, and then we follow up with the Colonial Tusker to rebuff our experiment 1. Alright. We'll buff it. Oh, wow. Can we buff high enough to avoid -8, -8? No, right? It's at 5. We can only give it 2. So, but he did take 4 damage to kill it. So, maybe it was better to just like follow up with the Tusker, but making him use 2 removal spells for basically something I was gonna pretty much cast anyway, like in the next turn or 2, isn't all that bad. Now it's like kind of sucky that I didn't end up dealing damage, but it's okay. I think we just play the Bailoff. Because it's not going to not buff the experiment 1. And it gives us a better position for next turn. I don't know if we want these Unravel the Aethers. They don't really... Do they hit anything? I don't think they hit anything. I guess they hit the Ratchet Bombs. I think we're fine. Like this seems okay. They probably run Chalices too, which are good against us. So maybe we want like Unravel or Deglamour or Creeping Corrosion. Creeping Corrosion's overcosted for this, I think. I think you pretty much just bring that in for Lantern and Affinity. Gosh. The one time I get lands, everything else is dead. So that's bad. This is good. This is actually a really good hand. We have turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, creatures that are all pretty relevant. Well, I guess it's turn 1, turn 2, maybe turn 4. We're going to move this to the bottom. It's kind of greedy to do that, but like, we're going to hit our lands anyway. We have enough lands to cast everything that's in our hand. That would basically just allow us to go 1, 2, 3 with this hand, which is good. But I think that it's better to just 21 cards. 2 Scourges, 2 Chalices. Look like 2 or 3 Ratchet Bombs. I mean, I can always re-reference, but yeah, 2 Ratchet Bombs. I mean, I don't know how many runs in the sideboard that'd be. Oh god. Alright, well, this should eat the... What does it eat? I don't feel like Geist does enough here, so probably just the Baloth, because the Baloth can eat that guy. So... yeah, that seems right. And we'll just sit on this, I think. There's no reason to be too aggressive here. If he swings, we block with the Geist and pump our Experiment 1 again. I think that's right. Does not swing. Okay. Oh yeah, there's that third land. Is that better than just playing the Treetop Village here? Probably. It allows us to play like Skews and hold up Vines. Decent. But I think this is fine. I don't want to attack, I don't think, and I definitely want to hold up the Vines. Because if we buff with the Vines too, we can block and kill the Thought Knot and draw a card. No. Yeah, I think we just reveal it. Like, casting the Vines in response, what does it do? Not a ton. So, like, I think it's fine. I think it's fine just to let him take something. He's gonna, I mean, make him choose between the Skews and the Vines. He'd probably take the Vines, but yeah, I mean, Skews was an equally reasonable choice. Vines is a one-time buff type thing, and he can play around it, so. Elder is really good here. It's a 3/3. Spatial Contortion. Well, that sucks. We'll Vines it. It feels like this game is getting more and more out of our control. But we do have like a fair amount of things that can still get us out of this mess. So, I'm optimistic, but aware of the fact that we're likely to lose. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Go away, Eternal Scourge. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty well lost. I mean, we just can't keep up on board state. This is like one of the few matchups where their creatures are more efficient than ours. And by more efficient, I don't mean they're more efficient. They're more efficient for what they quote unquote cost the deck, because Ancient Tomb in Modern is pretty ridiculous. So, because of Ancient Tomb, their deck has slightly, again, quote unquote, more efficient creatures, because they cost, their 4-mana creatures cost 2 mana, basically. So we try to trade as much as we can here. We want to manage the board state. And we want to keep our experiment one alive. I guess we also animate this and block another thing, right? Take 1, 2, 3 plus 8, so 11. Still almost lethal. 1 turn, 11-point swing is ridiculous. Does he have like a spatial contortion? That wouldn't win him the game, but it would be detrimental to our strategy. So. Okay, so we got our blocks, and a bunch of stuff is gonna die. Wow, he's doing that before I actually declare it as a blocker. Okay, well that stinks. Oh no, I guess he did it after blocks. It's hard to tell on Triss sometimes, but the proper play would have been to destroy it before blocks. I would have taken an extra 3, I think. Yeah, 3. Then at 9. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm dead anyway. Okay, he said take 11, so yeah. He must have done it before. Alright, well. It's a little sad, sure. Yeah, we just don't have a reasonable way of winning this match. So yeah, but like, so animating the treetop village there does force the issue of my Dungrove Elder. It's like my Dungrove is going to be able to block the Thought-Knot Seers now, which is pretty good. And then my other guys can kind of block the other things. I'm basically just dead though is the issue. What's happening? Oh, he was resolving the dead things triggers. Okay. So he's got like dismembers in hand and whatnot. I can only deal 8, 11, and be dead on the backswing, so I have to kind of just sit this one out. It's pretty likely that he just kills my stuff and wins, because like I know he drew a dismember off of one of the 3/2s or whatever. So I'll end up editing these out, but like he's been taking incredibly long amounts of time between turns, or like on his turns, for a deck that literally just wants to slam creatures in. I don't know. I feel like the decision trees are not very vast for that deck. Alright. Yeah, we're just dead, right? We can't block enough. We just die to Scourges, which are the smaller of the creatures, so yeah. We can block the Thought-Knots and the A Dismember off the top would have been nice. I mean, it doesn't save us at all, but... Alright. So, into round 4. We're only going to do 4. This is not a Moto League, which would usually be 5. But, I mean, our Dungrove would be huge. But yeah, so, yeah, I'm only playing 4 just because it's like, you know, I have things to do and all that stuff. But you'll see more of this deck. Like, I'm building this in paper, so it's pretty likely you'll see it again. This is fine. Like, Experiment 1 and 2, Strangleroot Geist is good. We can keep the Force on top. And on the play, like, the Experiment 1 is just a really good card, so... Grove, okay. Is this Red-Green Tron? Does Red-Green Tron run bolts? I don't think so. Alright, well that kind of sucked, right? Like, we wanted our guys to buff that guy and get in for 2 next turn, but that's okay. Like, he would have been, yeah, like 16 versus 18 is a difference, right? Ancient Stirrings. Cool, I gain another life. Looks like Tron. Like, these are things that Tron does. I don't know what other deck runs Grove right now. Hierarch, that's definitely not a Tron thing. Oh, it's Eldrazi? Red-green Eldrazi. I haven't seen, like, a red-green Eldrazi list since, like, Eldrazi Winter. I guess it did well recently at something, I think. But, yeah, like, I haven't seen it in quite some time. Sure, you could have a Meta Ray Shaper. Yeah, we can just slam this Geist and then hold up the Dismember. Dismember is a really great card, by the way. It's just awesome. So, swing for 8. Sure. You can have that. You can have that block, sir. That is fine. It puts him at basically dead. So... Alright. You can have your Carpolucent Forest. Probably can't play more than one thing next turn, from what his lands look like. Yep, Bloodbraid Elf. Okay, no, mine's then. So he could... Okay, he technically got to play 2 things. Because Bloodbraid. Yeah, we'll dismember this guy. Easy peasy. What do you want on the sideboard here? Like, gut shots are okay to kill the Hierarchs. Probably not worth it, though. The bow comes in. Like, it's pretty similar to our last matchup, right? Except Scavenging Ooze is better. So, like, bow comes in, Rancor out, and, like, a Vines out. It's like one of each of the buffs. And then we just put ourselves where we have a higher creature density and better capacity to, like, make our stuff big. So, like, being able to put +1/+1 counters on our creatures is super relevant against their creatures, since those are generally bigger-ish. I mean, they're about the same size, realistically. But once they get to the Reality Smasher level, their stuff is bigger. So, okay, we got Dismember. We have our Experiment 1. We're ready to go. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. And Dismember to back it up. So, 1 Cavern on Human, 1 on Eldrazi. Sure. I'm going to counter all of your spells, so you really have a lot to worry about. Cage. I guess, yeah, that hurts my Geists. That's why he brought it in. What? Oh, I guess he's not casting the Cage. Well, we have information on what he brought in. So... We're not going to swing with our experiment one here. There's no reason to. The Matter Shaper would just eat it. And yeah, we're in no hurry to beat that Matter Shaper. It's going to smack us for a little bit because of the Hierarch, but we just don't care about it that much. Is there another one? Obligator. I haven't seen that card in forever. Okay. So it's like a Zealous Conscripts effect. But you got to pay extra mana for it. Like you have to pay like it's a Zealous Conscripts. Oh, my bad. Hierarch trigger, sure. Does you have to announce that trigger for it to happen? I don't know how that works. Well, we can play our boar here. Or, I mean, I keep calling it a boar. Our stone test guy, and then we can use our dismember. I like that more, and that allows us to then buff again with our leatherback Baloth. We want to. Yeah, that seems good, right? Although the Baloths block these guys a little bit better. It's a 4/3. We could trade our 3/3 to kill it. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay, well. He's making a lot of takebacks for a competitive lobby. Sure, you can have land. It's his first colored land that's not a cavern, and that could be relevant. I mean, well, it shouldn't be. I mean, how many spells? Lightning Bolt. Gotcha. Yep, that's relevant. Well, we'll regenerate our guy, so that's fine. Maybe. Anyway. Yep, we'll slam a Baloth. And then make our do a little bit bigger. I don't think we want to swing with the Avatar the Resolute here. We don't want to trade with the Obligator. We have no reason to. We have bigger stuff on board right now than he does. And with the Vines, we can protect our stuff. And with the Dismember, we can kill his things. So we don't really have a lot of reason to worry about what he's got there. Yeah, sure, you can kill my Experiment one. That's fine. You use 2 bolts for that. That probably feels good. So this little Obligator guy, now with the Hierarchs, can kill my Avatar. I mean, he could kill it before, but he could kill my Baloth. And so I'm in between, do I want to block with the Avatar? I think I do. Just to get it out of here. We don't need that. We don't need that in our lives. We have another Baloth, so can block things forever. Bloodbraid, sure. An Obligator, so 2 hasty dudes. Does one of them crash in? Probably. You crash in with the Obligator. Maybe not. I mean, maybe you just hold him up to block, but probably not. Oh, he's going to swing with that guy. Do we just dismember this? I feel like we can dismember this. We don't have much of a reason not to. Yeah, it's it's fine. We can do that. He's going to have to start blocking soon anyway, and we're ahead on the board state. Oh, now we're really ahead. This is great. In for 10. Yeah, I was going to say, he's got a block here, so... Yeah, it feels like we're in a good spot. I don't see him being able to win this. Because, like, next turn we can just Vines our guy, and that should basically be lethal. Unless he drew, like, a bigger Eldrazi, but... Even then, we can eat most of the Eldrazi he's going to be playing at the moment, so... Sure, Matter of Shaper's fine. Yeah, we'll play this bow. And if he chooses to double block, we can... well... It wouldn't put it out of range, would it? It would still die. But yeah. Does mean he takes 3 additional and loses his entire board. Gets a Grove. Yeah, I mean, Bow of Nilia is going to wrap this up. I mean, not that we weren't able to win anyway, but... Sure, Bloodbraid's fine. He's like, man, I wish I could just cast that Reality Smasher. It goes to the bottom. There you go. Knowing how your cards work is important. Good job. Yeah, you can draw a card. It's fine. Yeah, we have enough to do everything that we want to do here. So 6. Yeah, I mean like 6 from 2, or 2 from 6 is... Yeah. So just with the bow itself, we won, but then the Vines to back up was enough. So we get there. How can you play that in a competitive lobby? It's super expletive. Wow. Well, I can play in a competitive lobby because I went 2-0 against you. So I feel like it's probably competitive. Anyway, yeah, we went 3-1 in 4 games. That's not bad.
So after those 4 games, I've pretty much come to the conclusion that this deck is definitely viable in Modern if you're looking to play Modern on a budget. And with that, I know I'm building this deck in paper, and so I kind of want to take a look at the card selection that might improve this deck. At the moment, I haven't seen a reason to board in Gutshot. Now that could change depending on meta stuff, but for the most part, it has sat there, and the same thing goes for Feed the Clan. So I would prefer to have something that gains me life and does something in the meta. So what I'm looking to bring in is potentially Kitchen Finks and replace both of those slots. So currently that's kind of my idea as a way to improve the sideboard, both against aggro and against things where you might be expecting like a Supreme Verdict type effect or a Damnation effect, because then you keep your Kitchen Finks after that happens. In addition, the new spoiler, Steel Leaf Champion, is a card that is certainly going to affect this deck. Most likely, it's just a 1-for-1 swap for the Leatherback Baloths. It's a 5/4, right, that has blocking benefits, or rather attacking benefits. And so I think that that card very well might replace Leatherback Baloth altogether. The only hesitation I have on that is things like Thought-Knot Seer. So if you're in a meta where you're seeing a lot of Eldrazi, it could be better to keep the Leatherback Baloths in because they trade favorably with the Thought-Knots. Other than that, I was very satisfied with the deck, and look forward to seeing more games of it because I'll be playing it a lot. So with that, thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed the content, please hit the subscribe button and the like button on this video, and I hope to see you in the future.